Hey everyone, we are on 2.4 population dynamics. This is split into two videos, so this is part one. Today we're going to be looking at factors that account for contemporary and historic trends in population growth and decline. So let's take a look at this. And then also this is going to be like chock full of very important vocabulary terms that you guys need to know. So what factors determine a population's growth and decline? So all of these in bold, very important words. So first is fertility. Crude birth rate, CBR, total fertility rate, TFR, all those have implications on the fertility rates of a place. Also mortality, this includes life expectancy, something called crude death rate or CDR, and then infant mortality rate, which is IMR. There's also child mortality rate as well, and then also migration. So these are three important factors that help to determine population's growth and as well as their decline. So for fertility, we have crude birth rate and total fertility rate. So for CBR, this is the number of live births in 1 year per 1,000 people. Here, this is showing birth rate, and you can see like sub-Saharan Africa has the highest rates. This is as of 2020, and this is still true today. For total fertility rate or TFR, this is the average number of children who would be born per woman during her childbearing years. So for the years that a woman is fertile, that is the average number of children that they have. Globally, TFR has been significantly decreasing over time. So that's part of the historical trend that we see happening. For mortality, we have life expectancy. So this is the number of years an average person will live. We've also seen this increase significantly over time, and a major contribution to population growth. We're just surviving to be a lot older now. So as you can see here on this map, the darker the blue, the older the life expectancy is. And then we also have something called crude death rate or CDR. This is just like crude birth rate, except it's the number of deaths in 1 year per 1,000 people. Then we have infant mortality rate. This one has implications for development and how developed a place is. So this is the number of children who die before 1 year of age, and this includes during childbirth. So typically when the infant mortality rate decreases, then life expectancy goes up, which leads to higher population growth. And again, this can be very telling as to the status of women as well as the development of a country. And as you can see here, also sub-Saharan Africa has higher infant mortality rates. So how do geographers calculate population growth and decline? So this is seen in two ways, either as natural increase rate, NIR, or rate of natural increase. It could come out as either way on the exam. Human geo textbooks use these interchangeably. It's the same thing. So elements of this. One thing to keep in mind, this does not account for migration. This is just births within a place. So population growth or decline that has to do with migration is not factored into this at all. It can be a negative number, which means that the population is decreasing. So if there are more deaths than births happening, then that population is decreasing. So the rate of natural increase would then be negative. And it's usually expressed in a percentage. So it's CBR minus CDR divided by 10. So for the natural increase rate or the NIR, so we're going to take a look at the US here. This is as of 2020. So the crude birth rate is 12.4. The crude death rate is 8.3. So it would be 12.4 minus 8.3 divided by 10 to put it into the percentage. So that would mean that the natural increase is 0.41%. So that's how you calculate it. That's about as much math as that will do here in human geo. And even then, this doesn't really happen very often at all. So in terms of continuing to calculate population growth and decline, population growth rate is a general one. It's not just birth and death. This is more accurate because it accounts migration as well. So make sure that you know the distinction between immigration and emigration. Immigrants are people who moved into a country, or I into a country. And then emigrants, these are people that move out of a country, or E for exit. That's kind of what helps me think it out. So for the US, previously it was 0.41. Taking into account migration, it goes up to 0.72%, right? So it's birth minus death plus immigrants minus emigrants. That's what gives you the overall population growth rate. Doubling time, another great vocabulary term. So this is the number of years in which a population will double as long as the population growth rate is stable. So it's 70 divided by natural increase rate. So 70 divided by 0.41%, for example, is 175 years. So the longer the doubling time, the